In order to use the quadratic formula, it has to be in that original ABC format, which is the standard form. So everything on one side is 0 on the other. So what do I do with that 9 this time? I subtract it. So I have x squared minus 6x minus 1 equals 0. So once it's in standard form, I can discover what my a, b, and c is. A is the coefficient of x squared. What's the coefficient of x squared? 1. B is the coefficient of x. C is the constant. What do I do with these three numbers? Plug them in. If you would, plug them into your quadratic formula. Oh, I did it again. Oh my gosh. So I'll have x equals, be careful, negative 6, plus or minus the square root of negative 6 quantity squared, minus 4 times 1 times negative 1, all over 2 times 1. What is negative 6? Plus or minus, what is negative 6 quantity squared? Minus 4 minus 1 times 1 times negative 1? 40. All over 2. Can I cancel my 6 and my 2? No. Can't cancel in a fraction unless the entire thing in the numerator and denominator is a product. We don't have a product in the numerator, we have a sum or a difference. So don't cancel your 6 and your 3 yet. We will in a second. 40 is not a perfect square, but it contains 1. What does it contain? The biggest perfect square. 4. 6 plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 2. So as we had before, I would appreciate if you thought about breaking this up as 6 halves plus or minus 2 radical 10 over 2. And now cleaning this up, what is 6 halves? Plus or minus 2 radical 2 halves? Radical 10. All right, what's our A? Bay? Say? What's that spell? Epk. It's in standard form. Is that too light? All right, going for it. X is negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1 all over 2 times 4. Two times 4. The radicand, yep, 16 minus 16 is 0. What's the square root of 0? What's plus or minus 0? What's negative 4 plus or minus 0? Negative 4 over 8 is negative 1 half. C. 5x squared minus 2x plus 10. A. B. How many fingers should you come back after 4th of July with next week? No. Gosh, no. 10. which is also your C value. If you come back with more, that's fine, just not less. No. All right, plug it in. Clean it up. What's that radicand? Negative 196. All without a calculator. Good job. What is the square root of 196? 14. Square root of negative 1, I, all over 10. The rule is fake it till you make it. Break it apart. Sorry about that. That gives you 1/5 plus or minus 14/10. 7/5. I. Before we get to D, comment. A, B, C, we're going to see them again in the next section. Notice in A, we have two real answers, 3 plus radical 10, 3 minus radical 10. In B, we had one real answer, negative 1/2. In C, we had two complex answers, 1/5 plus, 1/5 minus. There is an expression built into the quadratic formula that tells you which of those three cases you're in. 2 real, 1 real, 2 complex. So that's the next section, just a preview coming attractions. Now for D, I want you to imagine you're outside, it's nice, you have your favorite non-alcoholic beverage next to you, probably on a beach somewhere, wherever you want to be, and you're solving using the quadratic formula. It's a great day. Do you seriously want to use fractions inside your quadratic? Heck to the no. Since this is an equation, and only because this is an equation, you're allowed to multiply everything by a number to clear out your fractions to make your life easier. So earlier when you divided by 4, that's completely legal. So here, what number should we multiply by to clear out all of our fractions? 12. So if we multiply everything by 12, it's not to say you won't have fractions in your answer. You might still have fractions in your answer, but you're not working with fractions until the very end. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. And comment, notice we have 4 terms here, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. They all get multiplied by 12. The biggest mistake, don't write this down. Let me just modify it real quick. Students might see this kind of problem, and they don't multiply the 6 by 12 because they're like, oh, it doesn't have a fraction. No, everything gets multiplied by the 12. So please, 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 be careful. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So let's clean this up. What is 12 times 1/3 x squared? What is 12 times 2/3 x squared? 4 times 1/12 equals 0. Now, that is so much nicer to look at. If you would, quadratic formula, like you've never quadratic formula before. All right, let's see how you did. -8 plus minus square root -8 squared minus 4 times 4 times 3 all over 2 times 4. By the way, big mistake here. Students sometimes do not put the fraction bar all the way over. Make sure you do, if you like your country. What is -8? Plus or minus square root of negative 8 squared is 64. What is 64 minus 4 times 4 times 3? I think I heard it. 16. All over. Can I cancel my 8s? Nope. What is the square root of 16? Now from here, whatever you want to do, you know what, let's do it together. Let's do the positive one first. What is 8 plus 4, then divided by 12? Sorry? 8 plus 4 is 12. Yep, 3 M's, good job. Divided by 8, excuse me. 8 minus 4 divided by 8.